Every 40 seconds, a child goes missing in the United States. Now, imagine turning around for just a second and your kid is gone. Do you know what to do in those first crucial moments? Because the first hour can mean the difference between finding them fast or never seeing them again. Hey guys, it's Dan from Dozer Rescue. And in this video, we're going to talk about exactly what to do if your child goes missing, step by step, so you can act fast and increase the chances of finding them and getting them back safe. I'll also show you one of the best tools that you can use today to help you locate your child quickly in an emergency. That being said, let's get right into it. Let's talk about the first 10 minutes. Now, this is probably one of the most crucial points in time, regardless of the situation. Let's go ahead and get into the first step. The first thing that we need to focus on and do is just calling their name. I know it sounds simple, but this is often very effective if you're doing it loudly and you're doing it with a purpose. Call their name and scan the area. This means don't just stand there and panic, but actually start calling their name, be very clear, be very loud, and start checking around your surroundings and start looking for them and being active. Kids can wander off and they can get distracted or they can even start hiding. If you're in an area where it's enclosed, you want to check for closets, check bathrooms under tables, or if you're out in a big setting like in an amusement park, you really want to start going back on your steps and tracing back where you were and looking for them in that direction. Step 2 is going to be check your phone's location services. Before doing anything else, I highly recommend to check if your child does have a phone or they have a smartwatch, or maybe you've planned ahead and prepared and give them an Apple AirTag. Check those devices first. You can use Find My iPhone or the Google Family link. You want to check their location immediately. It might be as simple as just finding their location and going straight to them. And step 3 is also going to be alerting nearby adults. So immediately, if you can't find your child, tell any store employees, any teachers, if there's any security available, or any adults nearby who can help you find and conduct this search here. If you're in a public place or if you're like in a mall or a theme park, try to find an employee, give them a description of your child, and immediately start searching for them. Because many locations will actually have something called like a code Atom or something similar, some type of protocol for missing children, and they'll help you lock down the exits and they'll help you find your child. And then step 4, again, we talked about the locking down the exits, but if you are in an area where you have access to, or you can make it known, definitely want to make sure that doors, gates, or any nearby streets are cut off, or you're closing off the exits is what you're trying to do. Because the chances are, if your child has been abducted, the abductor is on the run with them. And so anything that you can do to try to lock down any gates or anything else, any exit points, that's going to help you and buy you some time there. So for the next section here, we're talking about the first 30 minutes. So you can't find your child. It's been about 10 minutes. Now we need to start pressing even harder. The first thing we want to do is call 911. And now many parents will actually wait too long and they will not call the police because they're afraid of overreacting. You don't want to be that parent. If it's been 30 minutes, this is a serious issue now. And police, regardless, will not get mad at you for calling. As a matter of fact, they want you to call early and they prefer it. That way, when you call them, you can give them this information. So when you call, you want to give your child's name, their age, their height, their weight, and a clothing description of what they're currently wearing, the last place that they were seen, and any medical conditions or disabilities that they may have. This can help first responders and can actually help them find your child even quicker, sometimes even before you even have an idea of where they're at. Now, step 6 here is to use the Apple AirTags or some kind of GPS tracker. It's one of the best things you can do before this ever happens. If you have an Apple AirTag, I highly recommend for your children, put it into their backpack. You can hide them in their shoes, in their clothing. There's a variety of ways that you can hide them on your kids. And they're small, so you can actually put a couple of them. So in case that if you have one in the backpack and the backpack is ripped off or it gets lost, if you have another one hidden on your child, then there's another way of identifying where they could have went. So again, Apple AirTags, I think, are a really smart move, especially in today's climate. So taking a couple of them and putting them in a variety of items that your kid has with them or in their clothing or backpack, I think will really help you out. Step 7 here is going to be using your phone for the fast action. So at this point in the game, if you've already alerted 911, you're looking through your Apple AirTags, you can't find them, you've already alerted security, any exits have been locked off. Next thing I would do is start reaching outside of that circle. Call any friends, any family members. If you're in like a local neighborhood group, we use Ring. And so if you're on the neighborhood app for Ring, I would recommend using that or Nextdoor, basically any kind of local community groups that you're on or you can access. I would post in there and I would just post that your child is missing, give them a description and see if anyone else in your neighborhood or your local area can be on the lookout and help you as well. You can also check if there's any nearby security cameras, if you do have a Ring system, or if you have any friends that have one and they're in the area. That's always a good call to check those as well. And then we have step 8, showing recent photos. So if you have a recent photo of your kid, maybe you just took pictures of them before they vanished, that's a photo you want to show to anyone in your search. Because sometimes bystanders or just people out and about will recognize and say, oh, I just saw that kid 5 minutes ago or something like that. And now we have our final section here, which is the first hour. So if at this point it's been about an hour and you still have not found your child, first of all, that is probably one of the most heart-wrenching experiences a parent can have. And at this point in the game, this is a 100% emergency search mode. We need to be going balls to the wall as hard as we absolutely can to find our kids. So for step 9, we want to check any hiding places. Now, sometimes our kids have places where they want to go to hide. Sometimes it's just a force of habit for them. If they feel uncomfortable or they get scared, they just go into this hiding mode. So any locations that your kid might want to go hide to, or they might feel safe, you want to check those areas or have your neighbors or friends check those areas for you. It could be anything, a friend's house. It could be a playground, a neighbor's backyard. You want to check these places immediately and search for them there. It could just be that they're just off playing a game with your neighbors or something like that. You just want to check. Step 10 would be to stay on the phone with law enforcement. Basically, at this point, you've already called 911, but you can call back with the police and you can ask to put your child into the NCIC or the National Missing Persons Database. So if your child's under 18, this can also trigger an Amber Alert depending on your local law enforcement, but that can send out that notification to everyone's iPhones and Androids that there's a child missing within your area and be on the lookout. And that will be a very crucial portion in trying to find your child. And I know at this point in the game, it can seem like a loss, but you have to keep the pressure on. So don't just wait, keep calling, keep searching, keep making noise. The louder you are, the harder you're pushing, there's a chance that you can find your child. Notify everyone, call everyone, check your locations, check your devices. We've already established that you want law enforcement involved as fast as possible. You really want to push hard. You have to find your kid. Now, with that said, I know that this can be a terrifying situation to think about, and nobody wants to be in this situation. But again, preparation is key. So that's why I put together a family gear guide to help you build a solid emergency plan. Now, this isn't just for missing child situations, but it's for any disaster scenario. You can check the link down in the description below. Download it now and start your preparedness journey today. And since we're talking about keeping kids safe, I do want to mention to you that I also have a video on how to use EpiPens in anaphylactic emergencies. Now, it's not just teaching the kids, but it's also about how to treat adults as well. And I think as a parent, this is a must-know skill. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and click down the link below. It'll take you to the anaphylaxis video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this information was helpful. And again, follow these steps, push hard, and if this ever does happen to you, you will find your child. Stay positive and keep pushing. Until the next video, thank you guys for watching. God bless you.